Last week we saw the DSY closing bearish. I'm talking about the weekly candle of the DSY, which means that we have US dollar weakness last week. You get? So let's zoom this further. After we've seen the US dollar, that is, the DSY moving below 100 level, then we now started seeing the US dollar weakness come into play out. We have a lot of rejection at this place previously, but price came back, break below that 100 level, retest, then come back. Then we now saw a break below this particular low, which created this low again. So and we have a lower high that came to reject at this particular area. As you can see, we have a rejection at this area, and then there is a new lower low as well. So that is the story of the SY for now, which means that for the next couple of weeks we should still be looking at dollar weakness. And this is where this is my target right here. This is the trend line level where we can actually see support coming in around 95, probably maybe 95,500 or 95,400. But for now, let's go to the daily time frame. If we zoom it further, you'll see that probably you can wait for a retracement. So we might see a retracement around this area coming here, probably maybe filling this small gap. Then we'll see price falling further and break this low as well. As this low got invalidated, this particular low got invalidated, then this one too might be invalidated after we see some pullback around this particular area. Then this is where I'm looking at for a rejection in the DSY, where the US dollar strength might come in at. And I told you last week that 100 mark is a very significant level. Once price stay below that 100, we should still see the US dollar weakness there. So for me, I believe that we can see next week, probably maybe Monday, Tuesday, wait for a retracement if it happens, if price did not want to TP. So probably maybe seeing some retracement and then a rejection that will break this 97 low back to 94 or 95,500 or 95,400. So guys, this is another week of the weekly forex forecast. I'm Amber FS. So welcome to my YouTube channel, which is where I bring you the latest insights in the world of forex market, the fundamental, the technical. So do well to like, subscribe, and then share this channel. So big thank you to everyone that has been supporting this channel from day one, and don't forget to click the link in the description to join our Telegram channels where I drop all the trade live. As you can see, any trade I took, I drop it here. As you can see, we have amazing results in our Telegram channel, which is a positive results and then we don't hide anything from anybody. We drop it as it is, and then as you can see. So do well to click the link in the description and join us here. And there's a link to a verified broker where you can deposit as low as 2,000 naira and start trading. And they've cut their spread 50%. Like, they now have a very tight spread. If you trade BTC, no spread on BTC. In Headway, you get no spread on BTC, zero spread. So do well. There's a link to the verified broker in the description box, in the comments. Click on it, register, deposit 2,000 naira and start trading. And you can trade in naira, you can trade in dollar or your local currency. And we have a link to a verified prop firm too, which is Blueberry funded, and I'll be giving you 20% off of any purchase you make using my promo code AmberFS20. So both links are in the description box. So these are the trade on my watch list for this week. you get. So before we even continue to check the trade on my watch list for the week, because as you can see, as an analyze, we should still see the US dollar weakness next week, and I don't think there are a lot of fundamental activities next week. We have scanty fundamental activities next week. So but before I share with the individual currency on my watch list, let's just take a glimpse through the fundamental activities that we have next week. So Monday we just have China manufacturing PMI, which is not significant to what we are doing. We get to what we are trading in general. On Tuesday, we have CPI flash estimate year over year, that is from the euro, and then we have Bank of England governor speech, we have Bank of Japan governor speech, and then we have Fed Powell speech as well. That is what we have on Tuesday. Later that day, then we have ISM manufacturing PMI from the US dollar, that is from America, and we have Jones job opening too, and ISM manufacturing price. ISM manufacturing PMI is a high impact news. Jones job opening is a high impact news. So do well to not be at the wrong side of this move, but I don't think it will have that impact like that to get. So what we have impact next week is, if you want to do it, just go back to what has happened previously, like just zoom to last week. So as you can see, last week we have flash manufacturing PMI coming out positive in the US dollar, and the existing home sale coming out positive in the US dollar. And then what spoiled it is the consumer confidence that dropped late on Tuesday, you get. And then on Friday, copy price index rose, and the final GDP too in the US dollar dropped, and this are one of the things that affects the dollar last week, that we have the drop in price. And if you take the eurozone, you see that a lot of euro fundamental analysis came out positive, except the French flash manufacturing PMI and service PMI, which came out negative on Monday. Most of it comes out positive. And if you check Canadian dollar too, you see that their CPI is positive, and so you see it on US dollar, Canadian dollar last week, and as you can see, it sell. So Canadian GDP on Friday came out lower than expectation, which I was actually buying Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, and this happened, and you see the massive drop get, and then it took us out. Probably we are in almost like 80% in profits, but we didn't actually close that trade before this news, and then you see what really happened. But that does not mean that Canadian dollar strength will not resume this week, you get. So as we move to the new week, you'll see the Canadian dollar strength resuming back. So on Thursday, we have average hourly earning, non-farm unemployment rate in the US, or that is NFP day, Friday. So I think this is only significant news we get. So they are not going to drop it on Friday, they're going to drop it on Thursday. I don't know how it's like this. So it should be like every Friday, but this one is going to be dropped on Thursday. So let's see how it goes. So these are the fundamental activities we have next. So the individual currency, the first thing I want to check here is gold. Okay, so gold, I'm looking at buying from this area. So you can see, let's just use 3 hours time frame and then auto fit. So I'm looking at buying gold from here, because as you can see, it's at a very significant level where we can buy from. But if we now see that price break this area, that is, I'll be changing my mind to sell gold back to this particular level, which is the next support level. And if that level break, then I'll be looking at 2971 from gold. But if this sell, it will sell massively. That is what is about this thing. If gold sell at this particular area, it will sell massively. As you can see, this low has been invalidated, and then price can pick this up as the demand level, and then we started seeing good buying at that particular area, which is very, very possible. you get, which is very, very, very possible that we can see good started buying at this particular area to the upside. Is possible. Well, if this level break, that will be a massive break. So what I want to do now is do something like this. Probably maybe we can see a break to the upside at that particular level. So if we see a break to the upside, it means our price will invalidate this high, and then we will actually see a new high on gold. So at this area now, I'm looking for a buy setup on gold that will break this to the upside, and then targets will be 3444. Again, so I'm actually load a significant amount of money and risk it on this particular trade. But if this break to the downside, bro, it will be a massive sell. Again, it will be a massive sell. So let's see how it goes. I'm looking to buy gold at this particular area, so that's what I'm looking at. So on the euro US dollar, price in an uptrend. Like I said, any retracement, I want to buy US dollar quoted pair. You get, I'm not saying base pair, quoted pair, that is euro USD, TP USD, DUSD, and the likes. But AUDUSD, there's an exception on AUDUSD because I'm seeing something different. But on euro USD, I'll be waiting for price to probably maybe retrace back to this area, which is a support level, then probably reject, and then my target is at 1.22440 for the week. So this is what I'm actually looking at here, where I'm looking to buy euro US dollar from, for price to retrace to this particular area, and we might even see a break of this, and then price will definitely go back above it, and then we'll see, or probably at least price might even come to this area, and then we'll see a bullish structure at that particular area. So that's what I'm actually looking at on euro USD going to the next week. On GBP US dollar, probably the same thing I'm looking at for a deep pullback, you get, but I will not break that particular low around that area. So probably maybe a pullback to this area, and then as you can see, a pullback here, and then a rejection to the upside. So that's what I'm actually looking at on euro US dollar and then GBP US dollar. So I'm looking for price to pull back to this area, and then probably maybe price might pick this as a support level, and then we'll see a rejection at that area to the upside. It gets, as you can see, so at that area to the upside, and then price might break 1. So I'm looking for a pullback and the creating of a new high at this particular level. So why I said I have an exception on AUDUSD is that if you check the daily, if you check the monthly time frame, what you're going to see there is that price is in a downtrend. You get overall downtrend. This is just maybe some retracement using Fibonacci retracement level. You even see that price is at 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, which means that price might soon reject, which is just giving me a doubting mind buying AUD US dollar. And if you check where level is now, where price at the level where price is now, you see that we have some significant resistance at this particular area, and then price might actually just break this to the downside. You get, price might actually just break this to the downside, and see price coming back to 0.61494, eventually breaking this low as well. You get, so that's what I'm actually looking at for now on AUD US dollar. You get, so I'm looking for a buy setup, but if on Monday, probably Monday or Tuesday, I see price going above 0.65423, then I will have a fairly I will have confidence to buy back to 0.68968 or 68 or 6900, yeah, probably. So that's what I'm actually looking at on AUD US dollar for now. So on SND USD as well, I'm looking for a sell setup, but if price break this area to the upside, so let's just use a daily time frame and see what is going on around there. As guys, using the Fibonacci retracement, price is at 61.8 level, which has a higher tendency of rejecting and break this low or this particular low right there. So I'm actually looking for a sell setup, but if price now break this to the upside, that's when I'll be looking for a bullish setup back to this particular high where the next resistance is. You get at 63.819 or 63.800. So that's what I'm actually looking at on SND US dollar going to the next week. And then if you use the 4-hour time frame, let's go to the 4-hour time frame and see what is going on around that particular area. You see that you have a lot of rejection at least to the downside. Yeah, like price is just rejecting at this level, this particular level right there, and creating some range that I don't understand, as you can see. So this level is a very good level for price to actually reject from. You get, so looking for price to reject to the downside at this area. That's what I'm actually looking at right here. And then the next one I want to take is US dollar Canadian dollar. Yeah, so US dollar Canadian dollar is giving me, I have a two mind. So but the strongest one is a buy bias, like the strongest conviction here. If you see, as you can see the trend line, this is very, very solid. So on Monday I'll be waiting for price to close bullish on Monday. Yeah, I'm waiting for price to close, even though price keep creating a new low, but when price got here, no new low was created at this particular area. You get, so no new low was created, and then as you can see what price did here. So what I'm actually looking at is a new week. I'll be waiting for price to close above this area. You get, I'm waiting for price to close above this. So if price close above this area, then I'll be waiting for a buy bias, get, which will break this particular high to the upside. You get, so let's wait. But if price now break this low, but I still believe that we should still have a, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Though I'm advocating for US dollar weakness, but what I'm saying here is different from what I'm saying. You know, you trade what you see, not what you feel that will happen. You get, but what I'm actually saying here is just different. So for me, I believe that this is a place that we'll be looking at, that what will happen around this area. So I want to check what will happen. Maybe price will break this or break this low. So that's when I'll know what I would do at that particular area. Even if price come here, this place is a very, very solid support level. If I want to do on a short term, if you come back to the 4-hour time frame, yeah, so this is what I'll be doing on a 4-hour time frame. So I would like to sell on a 4-hour time frame. As you can see it, I would like to sell on a 4-hour time frame. You get, so I would like to sell, and then if I'm selling, this is where I'll be taking my profit, because if you see the 4-hour time frame, we even have a head and shoulder in the 4-hour time frame that I even want to invalidate last week, but you know, see the rejection at this particular area. So if I even want to trade around this area, I will be selling, like probably maybe any retracement, I'll be selling back to this level right here, which is a support level. So let's see how it goes at that particular area. So we have US dollar JPY here, and this one too I have to mind. So one mind was, if price did not break this trend line we serve as support, we should still look for another high. You get, right at this particular area, we should still look at another high right here, which price will break. But I think price will break this thing to the downside, but this is what I'm actually looking at. So I'll be looking at a rejection at this area, maybe another rejection. You get, as price is doing, so it sounds like a repetition of what is happening around this area, and it can happen again, and you look for buy on US dollar JPY. But if this level now break to the downside, I'm looking for a sell setup. Canadian dollar JPY, I'm looking for a sell setup. There's no doubt about that. As price failed to break 106 120. So this one I don't even have to mind on this one. I only have one mind, which is a sell setup. If price refuses to break 106 131, then we should be going for a sell setup, putting our stop loss above this particular high. Then maybe use a lag target, but if you have small accounts, you know how you do it. And then, you know, those of you that use 15 minutes to enter, sometimes I use 15 minutes to enter too. So you might be looking for a sell setup around this particular environment, and then your stop loss still stay above this 106 level. You get, so then you target your one ratio 3 or stuff like that. So I'm actually looking for a sell setup on Canadian dollar JPY. So the next one is pounds CHF. This one I'm looking for a sell setup due to what price creates around this area. I'm looking for a sell setup to the downside due to what price creates at that particular area. As you can see, price has created a sell target around this area. That's what I'm actually looking at. So let's see how it goes. But this is for a sell setup because there is a particular pattern that has been created here. And the last one is Euro AUD, Euro Australian dollar. For me, this one we have a long way to go on Euro AUD, but I still believe price is still in an uptrend. So for me, I believe these two low will be invalidated, like this and this, and we might see price coming back to reject at this back to reject at this demand level of here. So can you see what I'm actually talking about? So this is what I'm actually looking at on Euro AUD going to next. I'll be patiently waiting for price to come here, and you know, the demand level. If you see down my trend line course on Udemy, the link will be in the description. I talked about price rejecting at the trend line level, which is also a demand level. You get, is one of the way to confirm a trend line rejection. If there is a demand level at exactly where trend line is a very strong indicator of rejection. So you can see this trend line 1, 2, this one fake breakout 3, and then we might add the fourth one here, which price might reject from, and then you see this demand level with that price. So that's what I'm actually looking at. So go and check the trend line course so that you can understand how demand level works with the trend line level. Also, it's a very strong indicator of rejection. So this what I'm actually looking at in the market going to the next week. You get, so don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and open a verified broker and a verified platform. The link will be in the description box for you to register, and I'll pin the link to the comment section to register. So I hope you have a profitable week next week. Don't forget to trade safely. Don't forget to join our Telegram channel where I drop signal every day. You get, we are drop signal every day. So take care, have a profitable week ahead, and don't forget to trade safely.